Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Mornings at the Cabin, indeed. Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Thursday morning. Ollie is also out there doing stuff. Hey. Back from another day off. I take my Wednesdays off because if I know a lot of you were thinking, like, where's Wheeler go on these Wednesdays? What does he do? Well, Phoenix doesn't get home until late. So, have some little bit of dinner ready, try to hang out, spend some time together. So by the time we get to bed, like 11 o'clock, and, get up at 5. It's like, nah, I'll take the morning off.
Well, thank you for finally getting ahead of that.
Getting ahead of it?
Well, yeah. People have been wondering. People have been asking questions.
No, they've
been trying to answer individually.
They have not been asking
anything.
anything.
It's piling up. I know Ollie was considering putting out a news release, but then people would be like, how dare you invade Wheeler's privacy?
How dare you invade his
that?
privacy? Take this down. I feel for his family.
We wanted to know, but we didn't want everyone to know.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I almost don't want to comment indirectly because I understand how sensitive that issue is.
You taking a day off?
Me taking a day off.
It
but
is
the
sensitive.
fact of the matter
People
is,
like you hosting the morning show.
It's news. When the loudest person, one of the loudest people in Yellowknife, takes a day off, people wonder why is it so quiet?
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
It's unnerving.
Take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Sleep like half an hour later. It's beautiful. Like I get up, it's brutal. Usually get up between 5 and 5:30 on those sleep-in days between 6 and 6. Yeah, it's great.
Luxurious.
Yes, so luxurious. I just can't sleep in anymore. My stupid old body won't let me.
Fresh today.
Coming up on 39. Time to give up.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Thursday morning. Big announcement to make here at the morning show, actually. We have a new title sponsor, Aurora Ford.
Yeah.
That's right. Aurora Ford Yellowknife is new title sponsor for Mornings at the Cabin, so you'll be hearing their name each morning when we open our mics and open our mouths. Big thanks to Aurora Ford for that. Thank you for the support. Ongoing, as always. So we'll be recording some ads for them this morning, and I don't know, getting the first dibs on all the hot, juicy gossip.
We're recording some ads for them this morning.
I think so.
Oh, wow.
That's why I brought all this copy here.
What'd you bring?
Copy.
What kind of copy?
Well, it just tells us what to say.
What do we have to say?
The main points. Like, these are the deals, and then we can come up with something on our own.
Oh.
It's fun.
We have that much creative license?
We have all the creative license.
Wow.
That's right. We're the only independent radio station here in town.
That is true.
Well, I mean, English language independent. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, because Radio Tiger is also independent, aren't they?
Are they technically independent?
I don't think so.
I actually don't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
We're the only one that don't get federal government funding? Wait, that's not true either.
We're the only one called Cabin Radio True North.
Damn. Jeez.
We're losing our...
You know what?
Unique ID here.
No, we're really we're very excited to have Aurora Ford on board. We look forward to a wonderful partnership with them moving forward.
Yeah, very exciting stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much to Aurora Ford for that.
Yeah, and if you mention this title sponsorship, free cup of coffee.
Whoa.
At the dealership. Oh yeah. Come on down, get a free cup of coffee.
On Wheeler?
Just mention this. Just mention this title sponsorship.
Maybe when you go in, though, and you mention that title sponsorship, just try to make sure you're clear on any fine print around that promotion.
That's right.
I don't know if you have a coffee machine at Aurora Ford, but if it's a free cup of coffee out of the coffee machine, I don't know that that's much of a...
I mean, we do have a coffee machine. We have a coffee maker. It's not like a machine. It's not like a vending machine.
It's not like a vending machine.
We put in your loony, and then a little cup drops down, and then the coffee that you... From whence it came, you know not.
The mouse falls in the cup.
Yeah, I mean, that happens.
Yeah. Well...
Not at our place.
No.
We make our coffee. We have a coffee maker every morning. We brew 2 pots at the same time.
Wow.
Well, not 2 pots at the same time. 1 each, but then they're both, back-to-back pots of coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. We got it going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Double pot. That's quite an operation going on.
That's right. That's what I like to do. Double pot. Also, it's the year-end clear-out event at Aurora Ford right now as well.
We're starting right now?
That's right. We're going for it.
Okay.
The year-end clear-out event at Aurora Ford. I can't wait. So great deals.
Do you voice those ads?
I do voice those.
That's right. I heard that.
That's right. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I get that hard self voice going on. It's pretty great.
Hit it again.
So this is my normal speaking voice is more like this.
Yes.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
And then when we get on air, it's more like, hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
And the fans do not like this one bit.
It's how you have to talk in ads.
That's right. And then when you go with the hard sell, it's like, well, I don't want to do their ad because then it feels like I'm making fun of them. So, cabin radio, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cabin radio.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Conversation doesn't sound like conversation in ads.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It sounds like two people being very annoying, which is why we don't do a lot of talkbacks here. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to just like tape a bunch of words together. And
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's why it sounds like two disembodied voices talking to each other. Hey, honey. Yes, hon. I think we should buy a new truck for Christmas. I also think that. Okay, well, these are not spliced together very well.
Why is she talking like that?
Well, because she's away from the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, she recorded it somewhere else. This guy recorded it in the studio, and this. Well, I mean, it's pandemic time. Some people got to record in their home studios,
right?
And here's the thing: a lot of people's home studios are not up to snuff. So you come into the studio here. One person will do the one half of the ad, like it's the daylight savings event,
right? And
they sound crisp and clear. And then someone from their home office or their home studio maybe didn't get set up properly, sends it in, and it sounds like it's Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and they sound like Bane, and that's fine.
Just the wife and your little scenario there earlier. Just it sounded like she didn't know how to exhale.
Yeah, that's right. She was having trouble. But no, we run a very professional ship here. And now the pressure's on. It's a main title sponsor.
The heat is on.
The heat is on.
That sounds like
I played Grand Prix the other morning.
I think that's a summer promotion for
Is it?
For Aurora Ford.
The heat is on.
The heat is on.
I mean, that
Aurora
could be a winter.
Ford.
That could be a winter promotion as well. The weather's getting cooler, so your heat is on.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The defrost is on at Aurora Ford.
I love it. Thank you to Aurora Ford, new title sponsor for the Mornings at the Cabin show. The Mornings at the Cabin morning show. The MATC MS. Wait.
It's the show that starts your morning.
Well, I like that. There you go. And then you have a key turning into an ignition.
Oh, yeah.
All
There
right.
you go.
Now we got something cooking from 1982 on radio. Aurora Ford, new title sponsor of the Mornings at the Cabin program.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Some happy news out of Hay River. Well, not out of Hay River. This dog is out of Hay River. Lexi, a dog who started out as an unwanted puppy at Hay River's animal shelter, has become a Hollywood megastar. Well, TV shows. This is where we get our start. Start in TV, you transition to movies.
Budding star.
That's right. A budding star has appeared in alongside Academy Award winners. They don't give Oscars for dogs. They should. Yeah, that's very cool. So she's been in, Lexi has been in a couple of episodes of Supernatural, which is one more episode of Supernatural than I've been in, and has been in 4 Hallmark movies. It's pretty awesome.
Which is 4 more?
4 more Hallmark movies than I've been in. Now, I've auditioned for Hallmark movies, but I don't think wait, did I ever do one? I can't remember. I really can't remember. But it says that they've, the story says from Sarah Price, you can go check that out at cabinradio.ca. It says they've appeared alongside Oscar winners. And it doesn't say which Oscar.
Whom?
I'm looking right now.
I'm going to guess like Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Does he want an Oscar?
No.
No.
And he probably will
Ryan
at some
Reynolds.
point. Like as a producer, probably. I'm not sure as an actor. He's a great actor.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio. There it is.
There it is.
Lexi alongside Leonardo DiCaprio. We're making that up. But you can follow her career on Instagram as well. That's lovely. I love that. A little dog no one wanted is now a superstar. So anybody who didn't want this dog is now like, well, geez.
So the story's on cabinradio.ca,
It
and
is.
the file photo associated with it. I actually had a moment where I was like, "Geez, like Lexi's owner is particularly good looking too." Like
that is Jensen Ackles.
I was like, maybe this guy should be in some movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
He hasn't been in many. Because he did 17 years of Supernatural. I mean, he looks like a movie star. Absolutely.
He does.
Absolutely.
But he's a TV star.
Yeah. Never did meet him when I did my episode. They weren't in the scenes that I was in. But I did see him and this co-star whose name I can't remember at a Martin Sexton concert on Granville Street.
Wow.
Yeah, Star Spotting.
Huh.
Yeah.
So basically, Jensen should be honored to be in a picture with Oscar, just like.
With Lexi.
Sorry, I was going to say like Oscar, realm type talent.
Yeah. 2 degrees of separation from an Oscar winner.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, although I'm sure he's worked with Academy Award winners before as well. I have no idea.
Well, now he has.
No, yeah, exactly.
Now he's worked with someone
who's worked with someone. Yeah, exactly.
Academy
That's right.
Award
Yeah,
winners.
2 degrees of separation from an Academy Award winner through Lexi, the dog.
Just keep working,
This is
Jensen,
very cool.
You'll get there.
I love
You'll
this.
Get there.
I love this story. Little cute puppy is now a big star. So the Woodleys 5 is the Instagram page you want to follow if you want to follow Lexi's journey. She's adorable, and there you go. There she is with the other dude. And there, look at that. Oh, cute.
What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the Instagram.
Oh,
yeah. And she was in the episode. She was known as Miracle. No. Adorable. She's an adorable girl.
Ah,
that's so cool. Yeah. Well, anybody who passed her up at the animal shelter in Hay River, you must be kicking yourself now because that dog is making bank.
Something for all SPCA dogs to aspire to.
Absolutely. This is kind of unfair comparisons. This is really, you can't really expect every dog to go this way.
Well, only so many dogs have like adorable speckled tongues.
Yeah,
you can't compete with that.
These are unreasonable expectations for any dog. But Lexi, congratulations, and big ups to the family that adopted her and forced her into doing movies. I'm sure she loves it. No, this is great. Go to cabinradio.ca. Sarah Price has that story for you. Just dropped this morning.
Cabin Radio's Morning Show podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
Joined by Ollie and Sarah to discuss a little something on the board that says Sarah's home invasion. Before we say that, a big shout out to new title sponsor Aurora Ford, driving the north. Ollie, Sarah, what the hell is going on?
Well, if my mother is listening, I'm okay. I was not invaded.
I was going to say.
I was the one doing the invading.
That was my first question when I saw that. I was like, what? And I thought that maybe your home had been invaded, but then I thought that's not a good morning show topic.
I was invading things.
No. You were.
It was me. It was all me. It was my fault.
And here you are, not in prison.
Look at Penny. Who is going to invade Sarah's home?
Okay, it's girl.
Not with that fierce guard dog.
Oh, man.
That's right.
Yeah, not a chance.
Yeah, she lays in her chair, looking out the front window, growling under her breath all morning.
That's what my dog does. She sits in the window waiting for ravens to drop by, and then she barks at them. Okay, so what happened?
What happened? Yes. Okay, so last afternoon, around 4 o'clock.
Okay.
At exactly 4 o'clock, actually, I was supposed to be at a woman's house to interview her on her deck.
Sounds like a police statement. At exactly 4 o'clock.
Shortly after 4 o'clock, officers were called to a residence on Latham Island.
Okay, so I was going to meet a woman who wrote that new COVID quarantine drink cookbook. COVID cookbook. COVID drink, I don't know.
Cocktail book.
COVID
book
cocktails.
of cocktail recipes.
COVID cocktails.
She also struggled with the name of the book because it's very complicated. So the drink cookbook. And she lives a 5 auto drive. So I was like, okay, I think I know where that is. Put it in my phone before I left, and I was running late, so I drove. I wasn't walking.
Give her away your address.
You can all come.
It's important to the story.
Oh, is it? Okay, good.
So I put it in my phone, look at where it is. I was like, okay, like right there, right down like the middle street when you get onto Latham Island.
Yeah.
5. The street B.
Yeah.
Street A.
Yeah.
So I get there, I drive, I go over the little bridge. I see house number 1. I see house number 3. I'm like, okay, the next one's number 5. And I pull in and I see these 2 huge decks. And I was like, perfect. We're meeting outside to talk about these COVID cocktails on her deck because that's kind of what inspired the book. So I get there. There's a sign over the doorbell that says, please knock. And she has like 2 doors.
Yeah.
Like 2 solid doors, not a storm door. And one of them was open, like the inside one was open. So it's like clearly they're expecting people over.
Right.
Because they've opened one of the doors to make sure they can hear the knock.
Right.
So I'm like banging on the door and I'm waiting. And this lady comes to the door and she looks a little confused. And I was like, oh, do I have the wrong time? I was like, oh, hi, I'm Sarah with Cabin Radio.
It's 4 o'clock exactly.
I'm like, hi, I'm Sarah. I'm here with Cabin Radio. I'm here to do the interview. And she's like, okay. And she's like, how did you get my address? And I'm like, well, like, all Ollie forwarded on, because Ollie had kind of set this all up, so I was like, maybe she didn't know that it was me coming, maybe she was expecting Ollie to be coming, maybe this is why she's confused.
You're not
we've
Ollie.
run into that before.
Yeah.
She was all dressed up, expecting Ollie. Okay.
So I pull out my phone and I'm double checking the address. I'm like, right, like it's this address. And she goes, oh no, like that's like the street up, because it turns out I was on Hearn Street.
Yeah.
And it kind of turned, you kind of just stop at the stop sign and turn onto Auto, but they're both like straight.
Yeah.
Like they run like kind of parallel straight to each other. So I was on 5 Hearn when I should have been on 5 Auto. But what's really funny is that the day before that, I had a lady call me about this minor hockey story.
Yeah.
Her kids are doing this hockey drive to send equipment to Fort Good Hope to the kids playing hockey there. So that's a separate story I need to write. But that was the woman whose house I was at first was the woman who'd called me the day before. So she was like, how did you get my address? Like, are you stalking me? Just like showing up at my house to interview me without any like warning?
Without any,
Cabin radio's getting a little too good at their jobs
that's right.
here.
That's right.
So she was very confused as to like how I had found where she lived and showed up at her house. But it turned out I was just one street out.
That is ridiculous.
The coincidence required for you to have interviewed someone the day before and then to randomly, out of every household in Yellowknife, walk into their house the next day by mistake.
Well, I hadn't quite interviewed her yet. Like we'd said, like I chatted with her. I would need to get some more information from her.
Right, so she was expecting an interview, and then you burst
Well, I was going to interview the coach. Like she'd emailed me. I hadn't responded to the email yet, so... Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to email you back today, and we will sort this out. Sorry for showing up at your house.
Yeah, and then you're like, do you want to go get a drink? Because I'm about to go interview this woman about cocktails.
Yeah, and by then I was like, oh no, now I'm late for my other one. So.
And then you show up at the other one. She's like, well, you're late. Get the hell out of here.
I'm late for my next home invasion.
So yeah, a little embarrassing.
Home Alone, Yellowknife edition.
Did she invite you in at least? Did you
the
get the
first
interview?
Woman or the second? The second one, yeah. We sat on her deck and she told me all about her book.
And the first woman told you to get off of her property.
Pretty much.
Okay, great.
No, I think I ran away. That's what happened.
Came at you with a shin pad.
That's an amazing coincidence. That's pretty incredible. I like that.
Small town.
You gotta love it. Exactly. That's what you should have said. How'd you get my address? Yeah, it's a small town.
Yeah.
I know where everybody lives.
Now, come on, lady. You got some cocktail recipes. Cough them up.
Tried to throw under the bus. Well, Ollie told me where you live.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We're surveying the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's
looking for cocktail recipes.
Yeah, who leaves their storm doors open? Well, you do, apparently. Check. All right. What was the address again?
I wasn't supposed to say. They're both number 5 on Latham Island.
No. Those were example addresses.
Yes.
That's right. Well, that's funny. Well, that must have been a little embarrassing.
Yeah, very much. And I didn't even have time to process it because by that time I was late for my actual interview after I profusely apologized to the first woman.
Turned up on that second deck. Boy, do I need a cocktail. Give me.
Yeah, I was like, I went to the wrong house.
Sank 5 cocktails. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, the first thing she had. Were you able to find the place all right? Yeah, no, we're good.
Let me tell you, it's been a Wednesday.
Yeah, did the interview and got my car and immediately called Ollie. I was like, I have an embarrassing story to tell you.
And I did what you'd expect. I immediately came in here and wrote it on the morning show.
Yes, of course.
That's how that's the story of Sarah's home invasion.
Yeah. Well done. Way to invade somebody's home. Very off-putting for them.
I did not actually go in the house of the first one.
Okay.
You see, that's it.
When
realize.
she took a moment to answer the door, I was like, well, she did leave one of the doors open, so maybe I'm just supposed to go in and so I almost did. So I'm glad I didn't do that.
That would have been amazing.
Worse.
I heard that part of the story and thought you actually had, because I remember you telling me the second door was open. I thought you'd just been like, stroll on it.
I almost did because it took her a minute to come to the door. When I knocked, I was like, maybe she didn't hear me because the door was broken.
And
maybe that's why one door is open. Maybe I'm supposed to come in and just yell.
Yeah, and in the kitchen there was a couple of bottles out, and I just started making myself a cocktail. Sat down on the couch.
Comes into a kitchen and Sarah's there with a microphone ready to go and a cocktail in the other hand.
I mean, we were supposed to be meeting outside though, so I was expecting to find her on the deck.
No. And you got the first one. You asked the first one, can you make me a cocktail? I've got some cranberry and vodka if you like. How'd you get my address again? Don't worry about it.
Ollie told me.
It's Ollie's fault.
There's the next Cabin Radio T-shirt. Ask Ollie. ... Sarah, thank you for sharing your embarrassing story with us. That was wonderful.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
I'm not a part of the news team, as many of people have tried to point out. That as a journalist, I should be impartial, not a journalist. Only a silly host who says silly things for silly people. Trying to make people feel silly. That's what Lecter and I do.
Now that we've separated ourselves from
that's right
from that mess
back
there.
I know, what a dumpster fire. In defense of Cabin Radio, the Cabin Radio news team, the story yesterday, the RCMP called to an incident at Mildred Hall. Got a lot of flack for it. You know, a lot of people suggesting that we shouldn't have posted it. It was only the business of the school, the parents, the kids involved, and it's not nice, right? It's not nice news. It's not. Right? Yeah, we should report on, and like some people going so far as to say, you should only report good news. Or like, why don't you report on something good today? It's like, well, here's the thing. If there are police cars outside of an elementary school, and it's not like they're there to be like, hey, we're going to show you kids how to use a gun, you know, as a show and tell type of thing, and they're using tactical gear, people are going to have questions. A lot of questions.
Even that would be a pretty interesting story, because I just don't feel like that's recommended.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Here's how to use a handgun, kids. A restricted firearm.
Turn the safety on. But so, and we jest. I mean, it's a horrible situation. We don't like posting, doing stories like this. But this is news. Like, we got emails and calls from parents and from other people who were concerned that there were police lined up outside an elementary school. Now, nothing may have happened. They successfully de-escalated the situation. We don't have any details as to what went on. We know that the rest of the students were locked in their rooms. So it was serious enough for that to happen, for one, for kids to be locked in their rooms, and for the police to be called.
Yeah.
So it was serious enough for that. So it wasn't just a kid having a temper tantrum. It wasn't a kid just being upset. Like, it's a horrible situation for everybody involved. We agree with that.
Right.
We agree with that, with the fact that it's a horrible situation for everyone involved. When we get concerned calls from the community saying, what the hell's going on at the school? I need to know what's going on at the school. Like, some comments here where I understand that people are upset that we reported on it. And I understand that people don't want to hear this bad news, and that we should not report on stuff like this. And like one of the comments said, like, this shouldn't be news. My heart breaks for the family and the kiddo having to see this plastered on Facebook. Well, first of all, the kid doesn't see it plastered on Facebook, I imagine. And there was 102 reactions to it. Fine. Absolutely. We agree. We don't like posting stories like this. But I mean, the fact of the matter is that we got a lot of calls, we got a lot of emails, and we saw people were driving by an elementary school, which is in the heart of downtown Yellowknife, with police cars in front of it, and police in tactical gear. People are going to need to know what's going on, regardless of what you think should be reported. And as heartbreaking as it is to report something this terrible or this scary, because it is, we have to do it. That's part of the job.
And the thing is, in conclusion, I mean, obviously, YK1 posted on their Facebook.
Posted. Mildred Hall posted.
They posted.
The RCMP posted.
They posted an intentionally vague statement, which, for obvious reasons, they're protecting the identity of whoever may have been involved. And it's not like Cabin Radio was about to dig into that to find out who was involved, what did they do.
Exactly.
That's not really important. It's just the very fact that there were squad cars at an elementary
and that's
school.
all the story. All the story. I'm not even sure that some of these commenters read the story. They're like, "Oh, don't report on this and don't report on the kid." And it's like, we're not. Like, we're reporting the fact that this is what was going on.
Yeah, no one was identified.
No,
and nor will they be, because that's irresponsible journalism.
Exactly,
and not
children.
But the thing is, like, this is kind of it's one of those tough ones when it comes to journalism, which is why I have no interest in being a journalist and never will.
Yep.
Because the job is difficult, because from the story itself to everyone involved to the reaction from our people who commented on the story on Facebook.
Yeah.
That everyone's heart was in the right place.
Yep.
Everyone is coming from their heart being in the right place, which is that, it's unfortunate that something, that whatever happened, if it was a kid, having a tough time, which is basically what's been described to us as what was going on. We don't need to know any more than that, because the situation was dealt with and is over. Yeah. But it's tough, because that everyone just wants to protect
the kids.
The kids.
Absolutely. And we do too.
Yeah. So you know that, yeah, when we get calls and emails saying what's going on there, we need to find out.
Yep.
We have that is our role as as a news source, as a media source, to find out. And, you know, and also, quite frankly, it's a lot easier to just write a news story and post it so everyone can be like, oh, that's what was going on.
That's what was going on. Okay, it's
rather
than great.
Yeah, responding to, you know, infinite messages.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Mildred Hall statement was purposely vague, like you said, but I mean, like, what is, like, if I'm a parent and I just see that the police have been sent in to de-escalate a situation, I'd be like, you're going to tell me what's going on, right? Because, like, I mean, are you going to are you just going to wait for the school district to send out 200 calls to different parents to tell them what's going on?
Right.
And I mean, like, it's unfortunate. We don't like reporting on that stuff, but I think we did it responsibly. And yeah, when people roll by and there's police cars outside, that they're going to want to know.
It's one of those stories that you would want to. So we have a cabin radio internship that people are applying on now. Aspiring journalists.
Yes.
This is one of those stories that you kind of want to point them to and be like,
by the way,
are you sure you want to? You know?
Yeah, it's tough, and you know where these people are coming from. Like you said, their hearts are in the right place. It's when you start telling us that we need to do better, or like it's in poor taste. It's not. None of this is in poor taste.
No.
I would be. If this situation didn't involve the police, then nobody would know about it.
Yeah.
And then like the kids at the school would know about it. Their parents would know about it. That's it. The second you call the police, it becomes a matter of public record.
Right.
It becomes a matter of public interest and public record. So as soon as the cops arrive at an elementary school, people deserve to know what's going on. They don't need all the nitty gritty details, but they need to know what's going on in their city. And if cops are in tactical gear outside of an elementary school, that is a story of interest.
Yeah.
So I will defend the news team on that, and I will also have empathy for the people who thought it was irresponsible to report.
Absolutely.
I won't agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you that it was irresponsible. I don't agree with you that this shouldn't be news. It absolutely is news.
But we're all coming from the same place.
Exactly.
Here.
We are coming.
Yeah.
It's not like we're doing this for clicks, guys.
No.
We're not doing this. We're not like, oh, a salacious story about kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like. This is a situation that escalated beyond what the teachers and the staff could do at the school, to the point where the police needed to be brought in and children were locked in their rooms. And now it was de-escalated successfully and nothing happened, but the second the police have to become involved, there it is.
Yeah. Well, the very premise of, like squad cars, multiple squad cars and like, something like that showing up at an elementary school, imaginations tend to run wild.
And so if you
that is the point of the story is to rein that in, say it's not anything you might be thinking, and it's under control, it's resolved. Yeah, it's
imagine if nobody reports on it and you just see a bunch of cars out there, tactical police and tactical entering the school, and the only response you get is from Mildred Hall and the RCMP saying there was an incident at school.
Yeah.
People would be losing their minds.
Then we get messages being
why are you reporting on this?
Ignoring this?
Are you just going to ignore this? Exactly. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Yeah.
We feel for the kids. We feel for the families. We don't like reporting on stuff like this. But I'm sorry to say this. It's news.
Yeah.
It's news when police show up to an elementary school to de-escalate a situation.
It's a double-edged sword being a trusted news source.
I mean, the second it's outside the control of the teachers and the staff, that's a big deal.
At the same time, from Ollie's perspective, when the word count in defending of the story begins to exceed the total word count of the story itself,
right?
You probably have one of those moments where you're just like, what?
I mean, a lot of people are reacting from a knee jerk, right? It's just like, oh, this is about kids. I know these kids, and I don't want this reported on. It's like, sorry, that's not up to you.
Yeah.
And that's up to the community at large. And the community at large was telling us, what the hell's going on at the school?
Yeah.
We need to know what's going on at the school. So there's the story. It's about as lacking in direct information as you can get.
As it should be.
This is what happened. They de-escalated it. No charges. That's it. There's the story. Everybody's safe.
So starting next week, December 14th to 25th.
Yes.
Only good news. Because if there's two things that have made 2020 intolerable, it's been the global COVID-19 pandemic and cabin radio's negativity.
And that is part of it. I mean, part of the onslaught of negative news every day is that people get real tired of it. And we're tired of it too. We would love to report only good news. unfortunately, that would not work.
No, I don't care what else is happening. Only good news.
Fair enough.
From the 14th to 25th.
How about we do
the holidays?
How about we do the bad news in a good way? COVID-19 deaths are up. Anywho, that's enough. There you go. Cabin Radio NWT. Check it out on Facebook. Also, cabinradio.ca, of course, for all your latest news. I think we got the best news team in the territory.
Especially all your latest bad news.
Best news team in the north, as far as I'm concerned. So there it is. I think we do a great job. That's going to do it for Mornings at the Cabin for this morning. We're going to go. We're going to go. And we're going to come back tomorrow morning and for more stuff. So hopefully you'll tune in, I guess.
Only Good News FM.
Oh, good news. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.